Today, I want to tell you a story. It's all about the technology we rely on at work and a really fundamental shift in how we understand if it's actually working or, secretly broken.
So, once upon a time, inside companies that probably look a lot like yours, thousands of employees showed up every single day ready to do their best work. And they all had one thing in common, a critical foundation for everything they did, their technology. And we're not just talking about one type of employee here. We're talking about everyone. You've got financial advisors prepping for huge client meetings. You've got contact center agents on the front lines, helping people through really important stuff. And of course, you have corporate teams trying to collaborate and push the whole business forward. All of them, every single one, depending on their laptops, their apps, and their network to get the job done. And every single day, if you were to look from the IT department's point of view, things looked pretty good. Yeah, the systems were telling a very, very reassuring story. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because there's this major disconnect. You see, there were actually two stories being told at the exact same time. The first was the system story. All the dashboards were green, the servers were humming along, the network looked stable, healthy. But then there was the employee story. And that was a very, very different tale. And you know that kind of disconnect, it just can't last forever. So, until one day, a single critical moment brought those two stories crashing into each other. Picture this. An employee is trying to join a really important client meeting, but it's just this chain reaction of failure. First, their laptop takes forever to boot up. Then, the VPN is just fighting them, struggling to connect. The meeting application itself, it just spins and spins, taking ages to open. And by the time they finally get in, the audio's choppy, the screen is frozen, and that one conversation that truly mattered that day was just completely derailed. And this just perfectly captures the problem, doesn't it? The dashboards still said everything was fine. All the lights were green. But the actual human experience was screaming that something was fundamentally broken. This forced everyone to ask a question that changed everything. How can all of our systems report that they're healthy if the person trying to use them is having a terrible, broken experience? And because of that one painful moment, a huge shift started to happen. We absolutely had to start looking at our technology through a completely different lens. See, the old way, traditional monitoring, was all about infrastructure health. Are the servers up? Is the network okay? But here's the thing. Employees don't experience a server. They experience a workflow. Things like logging in, launching an app, joining that meeting. That's why the focus had to shift from these isolated parts to the complete end-to-end journey. This realization, it sparked a whole new idea. What if we stopped just measuring the systems and actually started measuring the experience of using them? And that idea? Well, that became what we now call the digital employee experience, or DEX for short. It's basically the practice of measuring that whole journey, from the second an employee turns on their device, through the network, all the way to getting something done in an application. It's the whole picture. So what does DEX actually measure? Well, it flips the main question on its head. We're not asking, are the systems healthy anymore? Now we're asking, can our employees actually get their work done? So how does this all work? Well, DEX is really built on 5 key pillars. First, you have device experience. Is the laptop itself causing the problem? Then, application performance. Are our tools fast and responsive? Next is workflow monitoring, making sure those critical tasks, like joining that meeting, are solid and reliable. We also have to look at employee sentiment, actually asking people for feedback. And finally, automation and remediation, which is all about using tech to find and fix issues before they ever affect a real person. So by focusing on all of these pillars, our story starts to reach its final chapter. Until finally, we get to a future where technology just works differently. It's not a source of friction anymore. This future workplace is predictive, not reactive. We see problems coming and fix them before anyone even notices. It's self-healing, so we rely on automation instead of help desk tickets. And it's intelligent, not fragile. And why does any of this matter? It's so that every single employee, from that financial advisor to the contact center agent, can just focus on what they do best, helping clients, serving customers, and building the future of the company. And since that one fateful day when our story began, the whole identity and mission of the IT department starts to transform. I mean, IT really evolves here. It's not just about maintaining systems anymore. It's about engineering a fantastic digital experience for every single person in the entire organization. And that brings us to the end of our little story. So, what's the big lesson here? What's the moral of this whole journey? It's simple, but it's really profound. Technology success isn't defined by whether the systems are on. It's defined by one thing. Can people actually do their work? And when you start measuring that, you stop just being an infrastructure manager and you start becoming a creator of truly great digital experiences.